Welcome to a deep dive into one of history's most legendary disasters, the RMS Titanic. Did you know this floating palace wasn't just a ship? It was a symbol of human ambition and tragic overconfidence. Let's uncover the cool, lesser-known stories that still give chills today. The Titanic launched in 1912 as the largest ship ever built. 882 feet long. That's longer than 3 football fields placed end to end. She weighed over 46,000 tons and could carry more than 3,300 people when fully loaded. Her very name came from the Greek Titans, giants who dared challenge the gods themselves. Fitting, isn't it? Because from the moment she was announced, everyone whispered she was practically unsinkable. Though the White Star Line never officially claimed that, it was the newspapers that hyped it up. They printed bold headlines that turned myth into fact. The public bought in completely. And the luxury? It was beyond anything most people had ever seen. First-class passengers enjoyed a heated swimming pool. The first ever on a ship. There was a Turkish bath with heated rooms, a squash court, a fully equipped gymnasium, and even kennels for the pampered dogs of the wealthy elite. Imagine this. 12 dogs came aboard, mostly belonging to first-class passengers. They even planned a fancy dog show for April 15th, the very day after the sinking. Heartbreakingly, only 3 survived. 2 Pomeranians and 1 Pekingese, smuggled into lifeboats by their owners. But beneath the glamour, inequality was stark. Third-class passengers, mostly immigrants chasing the American dream, were crammed below decks. Over 700 of them shared just 2 bathtubs. Basic amenities were scarce. The class divide was built right into the ship's design. Here's the grim reality that haunts us. Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for about 178 people when over 2,200 souls were on board. Maritime regulations at the time based lifeboat numbers on the ship's tonnage, not passenger count. Crazy, right? It was an outdated rule that cost lives. Construction in Belfast took 3 grueling years and cost about $7.5 million, equivalent to over $400 million today. Workers toiled in harsh conditions. Whispers of bad omens started early. A persistent coal fire smoldered in one of her bunkers for weeks before departure. It heated the hull steel to dangerous levels. Crews fought it constantly, but the damage weakened key areas. Damage that would prove fatal. She finally set sail on April 10th from Southampton to massive crowds and fanfare. But right from the start, trouble followed. As Titanic pulled away, her massive propellers created huge waves that snapped the mooring lines of the nearby ship New York. It nearly collided. Towed clear at the last second. An omen? Many thought so, but the real dangers were still ahead. 7 ice warnings poured in that fateful night from other ships in the icy North Atlantic. Reports of bergs, growlers, field ice. Captain Edward Smith, on what was supposed to be his final voyage before retirement, received them all. Yet he ordered full ahead anyway. Was it hubris? Or simply the unbreakable confidence of the era, when technology seemed invincible? The night of April 14th was calm, almost unnaturally still. No moon, no wind, just stars and freezing water. Lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee stood watch in the crow's nest. Their binoculars, misplaced back in Southampton. They had to rely on naked eyes. At 11:40 p.m., Fleet spotted it. Iceberg right ahead! The warning rang out, but it was too late. First Officer Murdoch ordered a hard turn and reverse engines. Titanic grazed the iceberg along her starboard side. A soft scrape, almost gentle. Passengers felt little more than a shudder. Some even laughed it off. But below decks, water rushed in through rivet seams popped open by the impact. 6 watertight compartments flooded. The ship was engineered to stay afloat, with up to 4 flooded, not 6. Designer Thomas Andrews knew the truth within minutes. She had less than 2 hours. Panic didn't erupt immediately. The band kept playing ragtime tunes to soothe nerves. Nearer, my God, to thee would come later. First class sipped champagne in the grand staircase, while steerage families huddled in confusion below. Orders came. Women and children first, but chaos crept in. Some boats launched half empty, due to poor organization and fear. The iceberg itself told the story. Survivors described it towering, dark, and eerie. Some said it glowed with phosphorescent algae, like a ghostly apparition. Red paint streaks from Titanic's hull marked the glancing blow, proof of how close they came to missing it entirely. As the tilt grew steeper, the impossible became real. People slid across decks, lifeboats pulled away into the dark, some refusing to return for fear of being swamped. The cries from the water, those haunting screams, would echo in survivors' nightmares for decades. But the wildest secrets are still coming. The ship's lights flickered as power failed. Funnels collapsed with thunderous crashes. The stern rose high, then broke in two. The bow plunged first, dragging the rest under in a final terrifying rush. At 2:20 a.m. on April 15th, Titanic vanished beneath the waves. Of the over 2,200 aboard, only about 700 survived. Mostly women and children from higher classes. The rest perished in the 28-degree water, where hypothermia claimed lives in minutes. Rescue came too late. The nearest ship, Californian, sat just miles away, but misinterpreted signals and didn't respond. Why so few boats? Why ignored warnings? Why the myths that persist? Some whispered curses, the mummy's curse from an onboard artifact, or hubris punished. But facts point to human error. Speed and ice, outdated rules, class divides and evacuation. Today, the wreck lies 12,500 feet down, slowly dissolving. Rusticles, iron-eating bacteria, consume her steel. Artifacts tell stories of lives cut short. Shoes on the seabed, a child's doll, champagne bottles still corked. The tragedy changed everything. New laws mandated lifeboats for all, 24/7 radio watches, international ice patrols. It humbled an age of overconfidence, yet the chills remain. What if binoculars hadn't been lost? What if speed slowed? The what-ifs keep us coming back. Titanic wasn't just a ship. It was a mirror to our ambitions and our fragility. Thanks for joining this deep dive. If these stories gave you chills, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What's the most haunting Titanic fact for you? Stick around. More mind-blowing history coming soon.